Bay win the NFC South.
It feels like I was just making a video where I started it like this, saying, prayers to everyone's families, best wishes through this storm, and here we are again. This is real life. So once again, prayers to your families, best wishes. I know a lot of people are evacuating the Tampa Bay area, more than I've ever seen people evacuate the Tampa Bay area for a storm. And I mean, it makes sense. This is the first major hurricane to directly hit the Tampa Bay area in over 100 years. And, yesterday it was a Cat 5. I think right now it's back to a Cat 4 as I'm making this. They're saying it's going to get back to a Cat 5. Who knows? I'm staying in Tampa, hunkered down. I'm not in an evacuation zone. So, yeah, holding it down. I'm supposed to be going to New Orleans for this game. Airbnb's been booked for months. Dinner reservations are made. I guess we just play it day by day. No one knows what the future holds. What else can we do? Just hope for the best. It's crazy. Welcome to week 6 of the OPPS, where we have our biggest op, the New Orleans Saints. Our rivals who aren't our rivals, but their franchise player loves to talk about us. The team gets in fights. Who knows what the dynamic between these two teams is. It's like a messy, toxic relationship. When they see each other, they fight, but they say that they're not together, so why are we always fighting? What is this? It seems like all the crazy stuff always happens when they play each other in New Orleans, so if I'm able to go, I'm excited to be there for that. So let's first go into the state of the New Orleans Saints, and it's been, start off 2-0, blow out the Panthers, blow out the Cowboys. They seem on top. Kubiak is the savior of this New Orleans Saints team, completely doing a 180 on this team's offense. Derek Carr, early MVP candidate. Shaheed deep balls. Kamara, ridiculous. Everything seemed to be just working perfectly, almost literally, for this Saints offense, and things have changed. So since then, they lose at home to the Eagles, only putting up 12 points against that Eagles defense, who we saw the Bucs put up 24 points in like a quarter and a half. So there's that. They lose that game 15-12 in the Superdome. Then they lose to Atlanta. We just lost to Atlanta, so I can't really say anything about that. They lost 26-24 in Atlanta, just like we did. And then last night, if you guys caught the game, they did lose that one 26-13, where, in my opinion, they kind of got dominated. The score doesn't really say what that game actually looked like when you talk about control of the clock, amount of yards. The Chiefs controlled that game. 26-13 looks pretty friendly if you watch the full game. One really big storyline coming out of this game is Derek Carr leaving with an oblique injury. He left late in that game. Still no status as to where we're looking going forward into this Bucs game for Derek Carr, but obviously a huge injury to note. On the Bucs side, obviously we know the list is going to be long again. From Thursday to Sunday, that's 10 days of rest. Some of these guys that we really need to get back are going to be getting back for this game. All right, so let's check out this Saints depth chart. So Derek Carr, you see the Q next to his name. He is questionable still. Looking at what he's done on the... Why am I getting... Get that out of here. 989 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 63.6 quarterback rating. He has looked pretty good this year, and then he made some plays where it's just like, what are you doing, Derek Carr? So once again, just keeping that injury in mind, plans to undergo an MRI on his left oblique Tuesday. So I'm recording this on Tuesday, but I have not heard anything yet. As for the running back room, it's a good. If you got Alvin Kamara leading that room, it's a good room. Running the ball, catching the ball, he does it all. Jamal Williams, solid backup. Onto the receiver room, Chris Olave, very talented. Just still, I feel like his talent has not come to full fruition yet, whether it be offensive coordinator, quarterback, play call. I don't know what it is, but he's not getting the ball enough. 22 receptions, 275 yards, 1 touchdown this year. I feel like I didn't see him at all last game. Yeah, 2 receptions for 10 yards. Makes sense why I didn't notice him. Rashid Shaheed, I feel like, has solidified himself as one of the best deep threats in the entire NFL. 19 receptions, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, 18 yards per catch average. That's what he does. You got to watch the deep ball. He hits one pretty much every game. Hit one for a touchdown against the Chiefs. It's just what he does. And hopefully getting Antoine Winfield Jr. back on the back end to be able to watch that will be crucial. Him and Olave, both super fast, can hit deep balls. Olave, I feel like, is a little bit more well-rounded as a receiver, a little more polished, can run more of the route tree. But this guy, Shaheed, I mean, he'll take you over top. Mason Tipton is their wide receiver 3. Can't say he's a guy I'm too familiar with. I think he's a rookie. I'm going to assume, since I don't know much about him. Yes, rookie. I was going to say, if he plays for the Saints, I should know about him. But makes sense because we haven't seen him against the Buccaneers yet. So, rookie receiver out of Yale. Looks like he had a 1 catch for 2 yards last game. He's not getting targeted too much. 5 receptions on 9 targets for 25 yards. So, not great production from your wide receiver 3 right there. Is there an injury? Why is he their wide receiver 3? Doesn't seem like it. At tight end, they got solid depth. Jawan Johnson, Foster Moreau, and Taysom Hill is still questionable. I know he didn't play last night. Looks like there's no updates on him either, but another guy to watch. Obviously, this guy plays every position known to football, and he's a threat. He's a threat. So this offensive line, it's a pretty beat up offensive line. Obviously, Ramczyk is done, so they're relying on Trevor Penning there. Cesar Ruiz, solid guard, questionable. Eric McCoy, really good center, is on injury reserve, so he will miss that Bucs game. When healthy, I don't think their offensive line is too bad. They're dealing with injuries right now. I think they are doing okay given the injuries. I don't feel like I saw Derek Carr running for his life too much yesterday. The run game really was not effective at all with Alvin Kamara. I think Kamara had less than 30 rushing yards, I feel like. So they're managing. We've seen the Bucs have to do a lot of managing on the defensive side of the ball this year. Their offensive line, they're trying to do the same thing. Saints defense, it's always a solid group, regardless of who it even seems like they have on their defense. That defensive line, the names don't scare me. Cameron Jordan at this point of his career doesn't scare me. Nathan Shepard, Kalen Saunders. I mean, after that catch, that interception, and that return especially, I can't say anything bad about him. And then Carl Granderson is still doing it over there in New Orleans. So he has 3 sacks. Solid there. I'm not sure if Cameron Jordan has any. Nothing. Does that say 2 tackles? He needs to stop talking immediately. Nathan Shepard, no sacks on his side. Kalen Saunders, no sacks on his side. How many sacks do they have on the season? Okay, it seems like ESPN is just feeding me garbage based on their depth chart. Because looking at their stats, Brian Brees has 4 sacks on the season from the defensive tackle position. That's fantastic so far. Chase Young has a 1.5 sacks. And then Alontae Taylor, cornerback, with 3.5 sacks so far this season. So that's interesting. Gotta assume there's some weird blitzes coming on from the corner, and they're landing. Clearly, 3.5 sacks, 5 games into the season. That's pretty crazy. So, moving into their linebacker group, Pete Werner, I believe, did not play yesterday, but he is a solid linebacker. Weak side linebacker there. Demario Davis, don't gotta say anything about him. We know what he is, still doing it. And then that secondary group, I believe, is the best group out of this defense. The names are all names that we know as Bucs fans. Adebo, Alontae Taylor, Marshawn Lattimore, Tyrann Mathieu, Will Harris, who did leave the game yesterday with injury, so another guy to keep an eye on there. But that is a really good group. Always fun to watch that Marshawn Lattimore-Mike Evans matchup. They just have a physical defense that can always just keeps them in games. the physicality of their defense, and then being able to man up, having Marshawn Lattimore, Adebo, Taylor, Tyrann surveying the back end. The way the Bucs have been throwing the ball this year, it's going to be exciting to watch them going against this secondary here and seeing what Liam Cohen can draw up against this group as a whole. This New Orleans Saints, Dennis Allen defense as a whole. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Just a quick video getting to know the New Orleans Saints, this year's iteration at least. So stay safe, everyone. So I plan on doing a preview of this game tomorrow. Obviously, that is dependent on circumstances, such as if I have power, all of that stuff. So that's the plan. I'll get the preview out tomorrow, pending power. So stay safe, everyone. Best wishes. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. Comment down below your thoughts going into this game. Thank you so much for watching. Go Bucs. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe, Tampa Bay.